You asked me why I followed you. May I ask why you allowed it? To answer your question, I think I was just curious. Also, I have no sense of self-preservation. I thought you were hot. Hello, and welcome to Dark Parts. This is a Yandere dating sim in which you play as someone who has always been afraid of the dark. And it doesn't help that your night terrors are back in full force. But to make things worse, strange things are happening around your apartment, notes being slipped under your door from people you don't know, and apparently someone suspicious has been loitering around as well. Who are you gonna turn to? Your best friend who's a little overbearing but eager to help? Or the quiet stranger who oddly puts you at ease? Let's get started. Alright, so for this video in particular, we're gonna focus on Ellis's route. Do you ever wake up in the morning and just wish you hadn't? Don't get me wrong, I don't want to die, but if something were to happen, I don't think I'd fight to stay here. I think I'd be relieved to go. That's not the same thing, right? I mean, complacency can often be dangerous as well. Good afternoon. Could I get your name to check you in? What's your name? Yinny. Thank you, Yinny. Yes, I see you in our system. Let me verify a few things from your paperwork to make sure everything's in order. First, could I please confirm your pronouns? She, her. Thank you for confirming. And I see you've listed your emergency contact as Benji Moon, correct? Correct. Perfect, you're all set. Feel free to have a seat while you wait. I find an empty seat in the small waiting room and grab a magazine to pass the time. Instead of reading it, however, I silently panic. It's my first time going to therapy and I'm a little nervous. Despite my apprehension, it's become more apparent that I need to talk to someone. I don't know if it's stress or something else, but the night terrors are back. They haven't been this bad since I was a kid. Sometimes I feel a presence in the room, like I'm being watched. That's because I think we actually probably are. Other times I hear disembodied voices. Even though my body's still asleep, my mind's completely awake. That's why it always feels so real. Actually, it's hard to know what's real anymore. A door leading further into the office suddenly opens, yanking me from my thoughts. Hi. Hello. A guy dressed entirely in black enters the waiting room. My eyes drift over darkened patches of skin along his neck and hand and one side of his face. Are those burn scars? I wonder what happened to him. The guy glances over at me and we lock eyes. Crap, I didn't mean to stare. Hello. Oh, hello. He stands there for a few seconds and we exchange brief smiles. I am into very tired looking men. And then he exits before I can say anything else. With nothing else to do, I flip through the magazine again until it's time for my appointment. Dr. J should be ready for you now. Just go through the door and their office is at the end of the hall. I get up and follow the receptionist's directions. The office I walk into is modern and spacious with tall windows allowing plenty of natural light to fill up the room. Dr. J is scribbling something on a notepad when I walk in. You must be Yinny. Nice to meet you, I'm Dr. J. Dr. J gestures to some armchairs on the other side of the room. Once they're both seated, they go over the policies before flipping to a fresh page in their notepad. So Yinny, according to your paperwork, you're coming in for anxiety and depression. Yeah, and I didn't put on the forms, but I'm also kind of afraid of the dark. I pause to look at Dr. J for any kind of reaction, but their expression remains neutral. That's a very common fear. Mind telling me more about it? Public places like movie theaters are fine. It's really only been an issue at home, like when I'm trying to sleep. I've dealt with it all my life, but it's been getting worse. In what way? I'm having night terrors again. They used to be so bad when I was a kid that I'd wake up screaming. That must have been incredibly difficult. How did you and your family navigate that? We didn't. My parents just thought I'd get over it, and I was too embarrassed to admit I hadn't. Well, I'd be happy to help you figure out what's going on. In the meantime, I'd like to learn what's been helping you manage all this. Work keeps me pretty busy, and I've got a good friend who checks in on me. Other than that, leaving the lights on at night generally helps keep the thoughts at bay. What kind of thoughts? Mostly about ending it all. My neck prickles with sweat as soon as the words leave my mouth. It's probably not a great idea to blurt that out on the first day. Not for real, by the way, they're just thoughts. It helps to know that there's a way out, that if all else fails, at least there's one surefire way to make it stop. The last ounce of control I have, the last bit of kindness I can give myself. I don't actually want to end it all, but the thought alone gives me a morbid sense of comfort. To my relief, Dr. J doesn't seem fazed, instead they nod in agreement. Provided they remain thoughts, I think it's part of the human condition to experience that from time to time. Existing can sometimes feel like the hardest thing we have to do, but I'm wondering if these thoughts are simply parts of you doing the best they can. What do you mean? We all have that one voice in the back of our heads, our inner dialogue, so to speak. There's often more than one. I like to think we're made up of various parts, each with their own roles, needs, and values. They just want what's best for us, but sometimes they can go overboard. How is depression doing what's best for me? Maybe it's protecting you from more suffering. It tells you there's no hope because having hope means you could get hurt later. Does that make sense? I never thought about it that way. We can learn to work with our parts, but ultimately it's our life. They may be a part of us, but they don't have to be who we are. We spend some time coming up with hopeful coping strategies for the next time my thoughts arise. Then Dr. J teaches me some deep breathing and relaxation techniques before the session ends. Afterwards, I stopped by the grocery store to pick up dinner. Pizza seems like the perfect reward after a successful first day of therapy. Benji thinks frozen pizza tastes like tomato paste on cardboard, but nothing beats the convenience. The sun is already setting by the time I reach my apartment building. With groceries in hand, I climb the stairs and unlock the door to my apartment. After flicking the light on, something crinkles under my shoe. There's a folded piece of paper on the floor. Huh? Hello? I unfold the paper and see someone's left me a note. All it says is hello. Did someone slide this under the door? There's no name. My neighbors barely smile at me whenever we pass in the hall, so I can't imagine any of them doing this. This is a joke. Or maybe someone's being friendly and just forgot to leave their details. I can't say my brain's been functioning at full capacity these days either. I don't know, something's telling me that we should be a little bit wary about ye old mysterious note. I take the note and head into the kitchen to throw it away, too exhausted and hungry to give it further thought. I preheat the oven and unwrap the frozen pizza from its package. Once the oven's ready, I place the pizza on the middle rack and set the timer. While waiting for dinner to cook, I decide to check my email one last time before shutting down my laptop for the night. It's an email from my boss. It's clear how stressed he is from the excessive capitalization and exclamation points. I am a copywriter for an online gift shop specializing in wellness products. My job consists of writing enticing blurbs to persuade people to buy stuff under the guise of self-care. It's not the most exciting gig, but with more companies using AI these days, I'm lucky to still be working. Which is why I continue to ignore the need for healthy work boundaries and approach every task like my life depends on it. Because it kinda does. Oh well, it's not like I'm doing anything else right now. I download the email attachments and click through photos of the aromatherapy slippers we just added to our stock. They come in lavender vanilla, peppermint, and pumpkin spice. Sounds more like a menu at a coffee shop. I've never really been super into pumpkin spice, but then again, I'm not really a coffee person. The one time I had pumpkin spice, it gave me an anxiety attack so bad, like a pumpkin spice latte, because I think I just wasn't used to the caffeine. I tried to brainstorm for a few minutes. What about? The world stinks, but your feet don't have to? My boss would have a meltdown if I submitted something like that. I hit reply, still unsure of how to respond. Pee pee poo poo. Not even 5 minutes after I hit send, there's a new message from my boss. Really? We need to have a chat first thing in the morning. Damn, sorry. Great, tomorrow's gonna be a real fun day at work. If I still have a job, that is. The timer on my oven suddenly goes off. Pizza will make me feel better. Pizza makes everything better. Unless you're like me and you accidentally order one that was covered in anchovies. Not that I hate anchovies, but it was like a lot. The smell of caramelized cheese wafts from the kitchen as I enter to retrieve my prize from the oven. The crust is perfectly crisp and golden brown around the edges, and the pepperonis glisten in their oil. I slice the pizza into triangles and eat straight off the cutting board, no use in adding to the pile of dirty dishes in the sink. The first bite results in a decent cheese bridge. The flaky, buttery crust crumbles and melts in my mouth. My phone suddenly buzzes atop the counter. A video call from Benji. He's been calling a lot more than usual, probably because I've been hard to reach lately. I think about ignoring it, but he'd probably just call right back. What if I don't want to answer? My fingers are full of grease, so I use my elbow to accept the call. My best friend's face pops into view on the screen, followed by his laid-back voice. There you are, I was about to file a missing persons report. Sorry, work's been really hectic this week. Also, you don't need to be that close to the screen. At work, it's hard to hear over the music. Now it looks like you're trying to eat your phone. Sorry, is this better? Much. Anyway, you're supposed to start therapy today, right? How'd it go? Did I mention that the last time we spoke? I can't remember. My memory isn't what it used to be. I took their ear off, they pretended to listen, and we agreed to do it all over again next week. Oh, can I get the real answer this time? I appreciate that he cares, but I learned through the years that worrying him only stresses us both out. Sometimes the people closest to you feel the farthest away for this very reason. You don't want to upset them, you don't want to let them down, so you just smile and pretend everything's okay. It's none of your business. Am I not allowed to ask how you're doing? What's the point? It's not like you can do anything about it. Do you want me to do something about it? No, I'm just... Never mind. Sorry, I didn't mean to snap at you, it's been a long day. That's okay. Well, I just wanted to check in. I should probably get back to work. Yeah, don't let your customers go thirsty. It's still early, so it's pretty slow right now. Benji gives me a quick scan of the bar on his phone. It looks empty. Wanna come keep me company? Benji bartends at the dive bar near the hip part of town. I used to visit him more regularly, pockets full of quarters to take over to the jukebox or play a few rounds of pool. But I haven't had the desire lately. I don't know. I've already got company here. I angled my phone down to show him the pizza I'm currently ingesting. Benji snorts. Ah yes, the love of your life. How could I possibly compare? Even though he's joking, I can't help but notice some irritation in his voice. Whoa! Jealous of a pizza? I haven't seen you in weeks. I'm starting to feel like you're avoiding me. To be honest, I am kind of avoiding him. Whenever I get overwhelmed, it's easier to self-isolate. I know it isn't exactly healthy, but it's nice not having to put on a mask. But it's not just that. Everything seems to cost more energy points the older you get. Even a simple "how are you" is enough to drain me these days. Still, Benji deserves better than how I've been treating him. Alright, I'll stop by. Awesome. See you soon. After hanging up, I finish eating and place the leftovers in the fridge. Once the grease has been scrubbed off my fingers, I pull up the bus tracker on my phone. The next bus is estimated to arrive in 10 minutes. I quickly gather my wallet, keys and jacket before hurrying out the door. A short ride later, I enter the bar where Benji works, wading through the stench of beer, bleach and years of old cigarette smoke that seeps from the walls. The place was once considered a hidden gem among the older working class patrons who have been supporting it for decades. It only recently got discovered by a younger crowd, including students, artists and out-of-towners looking for an unassuming spot to have cheap beer. Benji immediately sees me from across the bar and hurries over. His hair looks slightly longer, and the green hair dye is starting to fade. Has that much time passed since I last saw him? He changes his hair color as often as the seasons, but his warm brown eyes are the same as ever. Hey, you made it. You said there's an emergency. Is everything okay? Well, it's not really an emergency. What? I hauled ass over here because I thought something happened. I hadn't seen you in forever and you weren't answering your phone and... Hold on. Are you saying you made all that up? Hey, not cool. It got you here, didn't it? Dude, that's really messed up. You're right, it's messed up that this is the only way you respond. Hey! Whoa! Okay, yeah, ignoring you wasn't cool, but at least I didn't lie. I can't believe you'd do that. Don't act like you never lied to me. There's a small twinge of self-doubt in my chest. Maybe I lied by omission, hiding my feelings, pretending to be okay. But that was different. I was protecting myself, and in some ways protecting him too. It's not the same thing. I would never fake an emergency to get your attention. I wasn't faking it. This is an emergency. I'm really worried about you. This is manipulative and I don't like it. This is exactly what I was trying to avoid. I hate feeling like I'm bringing everyone down, like I'm a problem. I let out a defeated sigh. I'm sorry for worrying you. I just have a lot going on with life and work stuff. Why couldn't you just tell me that? Because I don't want to? Because depression is hard to deal with and you're being an inconsiderate prick? I don't know. I do know. I just don't want to say it right now. He wouldn't understand and I don't want to keep arguing. I'm sorry, Benji. I'm sorry too, I guess. I was just feeling desperate. I know that doesn't excuse anything, but... It's okay. Just forget it. Sure. Well, since you're here, let me get you a drink. What do you want? A beer. Coming right up. He grabs a clean glass and fills it with a golden lager from the tap. Tiny bubbles rise to form a thick, foamy layer on top. He hands it over and I immediately take a sip. It's refreshingly light with a mild malty sweetness. This would have been perfect with the pizza earlier. I hope I at least got to finish my pizza. Benji watches me drink for a moment, then busies himself with wiping down the counter. The vibe is a little awkward, so I try to start a conversation. I don't want to start a conversation, I want to go home. So how you been? Benji pauses to think. Let's see, I almost got punched in the face for trying to break up a bar fight the other day. I spent the first half of today's shift scrubbing pisses off the bathroom walls. I don't get why that's still the #1 thing people draw. Can't they get more creative? You could always draw over them, put little hats on something. Joking, right? I'm offended. You know I can't draw for shit. We both laugh and it almost feels like old times again. Yeah, almost. Missed you, weirdo. Missed you too. How's your mum, by the way? Mum's still working too much as usual. But she's got a new boyfriend now, so I guess that's good. I hope she's happy. Yeah, let's hope this one sticks. Enough about me. How are things on your end? Seems like you're pretty busy, huh? I'm behind on all my deadlines and the boss keeps sending me more work on top of it. It's my fault though. I need to start turning projects down. I mean, everyone else does, so why can't I? As soon as I realize I'm ranting, I stop to take a sip of my drink instead. Why don't you just quit? My job's burning you out. And pay my bills how? I'll lend you my money until you find a better one. No way! Why not? I want to be there for you. I'm not taking your money. Besides, it's not like you're swimming in cash either. I'd figure something out. You're allowed to rely on people once in a while, you know. I know that, but I don't want to grow dependent on anyone. Plus, I have a feeling that, like with you, that comes with a lot of strings attached. Why? What's wrong with that? Is that a serious question? Yeah, it is. What's so wrong with needing someone? With letting friends help you out of a shitty situation? You can't do everything by yourself, you know. You're not gonna get some medal for suffering alone. Yeah, I'm not trying to be a martyr here if that's what you're implying. I'm just trying to figure my shit out. Is that alright with you? Yeah, sorry, I wasn't trying to piss you off. I just meant that I wish you'd talk to me more. You never tell me what's going on. You used to tell me everything. I know what happened. Nothing happened. I just don't feel the need to give you a detailed play-by-play on every single thing. A play-by-play? You barely even call. I told you I've been busy. Everything's fine, Benji. You really don't have to worry about me. You say that like I have a choice. I'm your best friend, remember? Or at least I used to be. Can we not do this now? We literally just made up a few minutes ago and you're already starting another fight. That wasn't a fight. Trust me, if I wanted to fight, you'd what? We're suddenly interrupted by a customer who's just walked in. And Benji almost seems relieved to go take their order. When Benji returns, he doesn't bring up our previous conversation and we both act like nothing happened. Still, there's been an unmistakable tension beneath his smile. I know he's worried, always has been, especially after what happened in high school. I wish he'd just let it go. I wish he'd stop punishing me for something that happened in the past. And I wish I could just talk to him. There are a lot of things I wish for, but that doesn't mean they'll come true. So all I can do is nod and smile and chat about surface level things, pretend not to see the sidelong glances Benji throws my way, pretend our friendship hasn't been slowly falling apart over the years. Another hour passes. Benji's telling me about the new bar they've hired for weekends, and I'm complaining more about work when an uncontrollable yawn escapes me. Tired? Yeah, I think I'll start heading back. If you stick around, I can give you a ride after my shift. I won't make it till 2 AM. Okay, but promise me you'll call a car. I don't want you waiting for the bus at this hour. A lot of weirdos out there. Yeah, I got it. And Uni, thanks for coming out tonight. I really appreciate it. Of course. We'll hang out again soon, okay? Okay. Back outside, I pull up the rideshare app on my phone, but there's a huge surge in costs. I decide to save money and walk to the nearest bus stop. There's still a decent amount of foot traffic, and the nearby bars and restaurants are all filled with people having a good time. The only weirdo I see around here is me. Benji was overreacting again. I reach a bus stop and wait on the bench, playing around on my phone until the bus finally arrives. By the time the bus drops me off, the tree-lined streets of my neighborhood are deserted. I begin my trek home reflecting on the events of the night. It's nice that Benji invited me out, but there's definitely a wall between us these days. He probably senses it too. But maybe he's right. Maybe I do need to start relying on people more. At the very least, I should be able to open up to my best friend of all people. I wish I didn't feel the need to hide my emotions from him. And I wish he didn't feel the need to do the same. The sound of footsteps approaching makes me jump in alarm as my fight or flight instincts activate. Hello! Someone emerges from a patch of shadows beneath the trees. Black hair and clothes blend into the night itself, contrasting with pale skin that almost glows in the moonlight. Wait, it's the guy I saw in the waiting room at Dr. J's office. What's he doing here? I don't even try to hide the indignation in my voice. Were you following me? Yes. Okay. He just admits it, huh? I'm taken aback by his blunt honesty, wondering if his statement is some kind of threat. Without meaning to, I take a step back. All the while, he continues to stand there, staring blankly at me. Where'd you even come from? The bus. I didn't see you on the bus. Perhaps you weren't looking. Okay, I don't know what you want, but you shouldn't follow people around at night, or at all. Oh, my apologies. It wasn't my intention to frighten you. And then what was your intention? To walk you home. Why? I didn't even know you. He looks confused for a brief moment, as if things aren't going the way he imagined. Yes, of course, how rude of me. I neglected to ask permission first. May I walk you home? What's with this guy? And why does he talk like he's auditioning to be in some period piece film? The only thing he's missing is an English accent. Sure. He seems a little strange, but I think he means well. We did sort of meet earlier today, so I guess he's not a complete stranger. My judgment must be temporarily impaired though, because I don't feel threatened despite the fact that he literally admitted to following me. Or maybe I'm in a simulation of some kind and someone else is calling the shots. I can't believe I'm about to say this. Sure, why not? The guy steps alongside me and we begin walking at a leisurely pace. I make sure to keep a good distance between us in case I have to make a run for it. I turn onto a residential street and the guy continues to follow. My name is Yandere, by the way. Helloyinny. My, there's a lovely ring to it. I hope you don't mind that I'm of flesh and blood. What? Why would he say that? No, of course not. Thank goodness. So, do you mind telling me your name, too? Ellis. And do you live in the area, Ellis? Somewhat. But we go to the same therapist and you just so happen to ride the same bus as me? So it seems. It's not clear whether he's being vague on purpose or is simply a man of few words. Either way, a long silence ensues while we talk. The lack of conversation forces me to focus on other forms of communication. His stiff posture, for instance, tells me that he's a little nervous. And from the way he matches his steps with mine, I can tell he's trying to be considerate. The moon is almost full, making the night seem brighter than usual. The shadows almost look pretty. I think about saying something to that effect. Anything to get a conversation going, but he doesn't seem intent on speaking. Did he really just want to walk me home? It wasn't a ploy to get to know me or anything. I mean, why else would he do this? After another block, I try to engage him again. So, how long have you been in therapy? If you don't mind me asking. Since I was a child. Have you found it helpful? At times. Well, I tried. It doesn't seem like Ellis wants to linger on the topic, and I can't help but wonder if his scars have anything to do with it. But all of these are just baseless assumptions. He could have been born with them for all I know. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Scars or no, it's none of my business. Another stretch of silence occurs, but I don't try to fill it this time. And strangely, the tension goes away, as does the pressure to find something else to say. We both seem content to walk side by side, swathed in moonlight with nothing but the crunch of leaves disturbing the stillness. It's as if the other's mere presence is company enough, and somehow that feels freeing. There are no prying questions to answer. No need to entertain. No need to say anything. I'm allowed to just be, and he doesn't seem to mind. It's a breath of fresh air, and I'm almost disappointed when my apartment building eventually looms into view. Well, this is me. Thanks for walking me home. It was my pleasure, Yandere. I'd be happy to do it again. Perhaps I could call upon you in the future. Like an Avenger? He says the last part under his breath, but the air is still so still that I hear it clearly. Are you asking for my number, Ellis? If you'd be so willing. Exchange numbers. Yep, Yinny. No self-preservation whatsoever. Good job. My hand automatically reaches down to retrieve my phone. I'd normally be more hesitant to give out my number to a random stranger. I don't know why my alarm bells aren't blaring right now. Maybe his shy glances have a disarming effect, but I find them incredibly endearing. At any rate, it might be good to know someone who goes to therapy too. I could finally have someone to commiserate with. Wanna be therapy buddies? Therapy buddies? Did I really just say that? I'd like that very much. Great. What's your phone number? I take out my phone and Ellis recites his number, one digit at a time. Eyes watching my screen curiously as I type. Afterwards, I promptly sent him a text. There. Now you have my number too. Ellis looks at me blankly. I just texted you. I'm afraid I don't have that feature. Really? Don't most phones have that these days? Not landlines, unfortunately. Oh, wow, I didn't know this was still a thing. I give a small laugh. Ellis doesn't join me. Hey, nothing wrong with staying old school. I think that's cool. I rummage in my pockets and find an old gum wrapper. You don't happen to have a pen, do you? No, but I have good memory. Oh, okay. I skeptically tell him my number and he repeats it back without missing a single digit. Then, may I call on you? If you can manage to remember my number, I will. Good night, Yinny. Good night, somewhat gothic-era emo man. I give an awkward wave and hurry towards my apartment building, unsure of why I'm suddenly feeling embarrassed. After unlocking the front entrance, I find the urge to look back one more time and hurry inside. I walk into my apartment and turn on the lights. At times like these, I wish I had a pet to greet me at the door, excitedly weaving between my legs. But I'm barely taking care of myself these days, so bringing a pet into this home would be animal cruelty at this point. I wash up in the bathroom and leave the hall light on before turning in for the night. I send Benji a quick text that I made at home and he instantly hearts a message. After changing into my pajamas and shutting off the bedroom lamps, I slide into bed as the whole light softly streams into my room. To my surprise, I'm too tired to ruminate on the usual menu of past mistakes, dumb things I've said, or the trajectory of my life. I'm usually too on edge to sleep, but right now it's all I want to do. Going out was a good distraction. A small win, but a win all the same. It feels good to finally close my eyes and let the swell of sleep take me. I hope Ellis takes me later. I'm jolted awake by a ground-shaking boom of thunder. I flick the switch on my lamp, but nothing happens. Shit, the power's out. Shit. My head is pounding. My mouth feels dry and it's utterly, overwhelmingly dark. I keep thinking I see shadowy figures out the corner of my eyes, but it's impossible to focus on anything. I close my eyes. It's just my mind playing tricks on me again, that's all. See? Calm down, Yinny. Get it together. What do? I hate this. I hate waking up alone. I hate waking up at all. I hate the rain. It was raining that night too. Benji and I just started high school. It was a big year for us. We felt like we were finally growing up and the gnawing emptiness continued to grow. I felt like I had no right to be so unhappy, and I was continually reminded that other people had it much worse. But that never made me feel any better. It just confirmed how unfair the world was. It had been a rainy autumn. The Halloween decorations were lackluster that year. I was frantically studying for midterms and my parents had stopped talking to each other. They eventually stopped talking to me too. But in their defense, I wasn't the most pleasant person to be around. Just a typical moody teenager, I suppose. I tried to tell them about the depression once, but my dad just told me life wasn't easy and we needed to keep doing our best. So I tried to do my best. I went to class, went out with friends, went through the motions. Until I couldn't anymore. I just wanted to sleep. I wasn't thinking about the consequences. Or if I'd ever wake up again. It's impossible to think about those things where you can barely see what's in front of you. When going forward feels no different than going backwards. Poor MC. Benji was the one who found me. I sent him a text telling him I was sorry. Maybe it was a cry for help, I don't know. Just because I was done with the world didn't mean I didn't want to be saved. Both things can be true. All I remember after that was waking up in the hospital. He's the reason I'm still here. It probably would have taken my parents days to notice. Mum and Dad barely said a word afterwards. Couldn't even look at me. I didn't know if they were angry or sad. Either way, they never truly acknowledged what happens, and in some ways, neither did I. Thinking back on it now, I don't even think I cried. The only person who did was Benji. I remember sitting on my bed a few days ago, a few days after getting released. He was pacing around my room, demanding to know over and over again why I did it. Okay, that is not the best way to react, Benji. I told him I didn't know, and he just kept crying. I felt like such a terrible friend, and I promised myself never again. Never again would I let people see. Some parts are best left in the dark. The only thing is, it makes the emptiness worse. And when the darkness inside matches the darkness outside, it feels like I'm disappearing and being consumed. No one can see me. I can't even see myself. It's terrifying. I'm stuck. Stuck between wanting time to stop and wanting it to hurry the hell up. This doesn't even feel like living, just waiting for the inevitable. It's impossible to keep going. I need help. I have to get out of my head. I reach towards my nightstand with shaky hands and grab my phone. It's almost 3 in the morning. There's no way anyone is awake. But the only thing I feel the urge to do right now is I'm gonna call Ellis. I can't keep relying on Benji. I know I've become too dependent on him, and that's not fair to either of us. For some reason, Ellis's face pops into my head. Maybe it's because he's the last person I've spoken to today. Or maybe it's because part of me feels like he's the only one who knows what I'm going through. I pull up Ellis's name on my phone and call. Hello? Ellis's soft, monotone voice issues from my phone. He's actually up. I place the phone tight against my ear to be able to hear him better. Hi, this is Yinny. Sorry to bother you so late. I really need to talk to someone. I see. How may I be of help? I'm surprised by how unaffected he sounds. It actually calms me down a little bit. Ask him to come over. This is probably a bad idea. A really stupid idea, but I'm scared out of my mind and I don't want to be alone. Yeah, but, you know, since I'm just a mere player, I make all the bad choices for entertainment's sake. I know this might be weird of me to ask, but could you come over? My power went out and I'm afraid of the dark. Well, I usually don't tell people that right away. I realize I'm rambling and clear my throat to recalibrate. Anyway, it's usually less scary when someone's with me. I see. I'll be there shortly. Oh, really? Thank you. I live at... He already hung up. Maybe he still remembers where I lived from earlier tonight, or maybe he's known the entire time? I lie back down and try to do the breathing exercises that Dr. J taught me in session. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. 30 minutes go by and I suddenly realize the door's buzzer probably fried from the power outage. Ellis doesn't have a cell phone either. I decide to go downstairs and check just in case. Upon opening the building's front door, I find Ellis standing there completely drenched in rain. Oh my god! Hello. My fears of the dark are temporarily put on hold as guilt and worry takes over. I'm so sorry. How long have you been out there? Not long. Do you want to come inside and dry off? Yes, please. I let Ellis inside and he follows me up the stairs. Bad idea. This still feels like a bad idea. Yay! You're making bad choices. But hey, what's new? As soon as we're back in my apartment, I stumble towards the bathroom to get Ellis a towel. He waits at the front door until I return, then silently takes the towel to dry off his hair and clothes. An entire minute passes by before I realize I'm staring like a creep. Let me go find a candle. I find a matchbook on top of the shelf and use it to light a candle. The wick catches flame and extinguishes within seconds. Damn it! I light it a few more times, but the wick is too short to keep going. I'm tempted to dig away the excess wax with my fingernails when Ellis's voice comes up behind me, barely detectable over the rain. We don't need it. I see you just fine. He's still holding the towel, almost cradling it, as he comes forward and takes the candle from my hands to put it away. It's not like the movies or books. Our fingers don't accidentally graze, but for some reason the gesture still makes my face tingle with heat. Ellis turns back to face me. Slivers of moonlight filter in through the window, dancing along the edges of his form and glinting in his amber eyes. You see? There's still light. I really like this effect. It's very pretty. We stand like this for a while, watching the silvery sheen ebb and flow with the passing clouds outside. There's something ethereal about this moment. Like we exist in a reality where standing in a dark room with a stranger isn't reckless or improper. None of that matters right now. Peaceful, isn't it? A little. May I ask what frightens you about the dark? Where do I even start? I've had my entire life to ponder this question and I still don't completely know. It kind of feels like being in the middle of a dark ocean. There's nothing to focus on, nowhere to go, and I'm too tired to swim, but the waves keep getting bigger. I can't see, I can't breathe, and worst of all, no one even knows I'm out here. Ellis finally looks at me, though it's difficult to decipher his expression. I sometimes wonder if my night terrors are attempts to make sense of it all. It's hard to fear what you can't see, so maybe my mind creates these illusions to help associate the fear with something more tangible. Except it's not tangible. Even though the weight of everything feels like it could crush me, it's still formless, boundless and invisible. Sorry, this probably doesn't make any sense. It makes perfect sense. You're fighting a force greater than yourself and thus it feels indomitable. Yeah, is it the force itself that causes suffering or fighting against it? I think it's both. Then why fight it at all? I'm not sure how to answer that question. Even though it's something I constantly ask myself, no one's directly asked me that before. It gives me hope. Hope. I need something to work towards. I have to know it'll get better. I see. So the suffering provides purpose. I mean, yeah. If we don't have purpose, what are we even doing here? I don't believe things need purpose in order to exist. The truth be told, assigning these arbitrary meanings are what causes human suffering in the first place. If life has no meaning, there is no fear of losing it, only the act of living. If death has no meaning, there is no fear of facing it, only the act of dying. Calling something meaningless is still assigning meaning to it. And you're still defining something and making judgment based on that definition. I pause, a little confused by my own words. The thought was so clear in my head just a second ago. Does that make any sense? Yes. Maybe it's the shadows, but there's a whisper of a smile on Ellis's face. I should probably get to bed. Would you like me to watch over you while you sleep? I'm flattered. Yeah, totally. Actually, that would be nice. Ellis looks momentarily stunned as if he wasn't expecting me to accept. And to be honest, I'm a little stunned myself. Yeah, me too. Jeez, Yandere. Am I not afraid to be alone, or did I just want to see his reaction? Just until I fall asleep though, okay? Yes, of course. And no funny business while I'm sleeping. Not knowing what to say, I wordlessly retreat down the hall, and Ellis' soft footsteps follow closely behind. Neither of us speak as we enter my bedroom. Ellis stands silently against the far wall as I crawl into bed and pull the covers up to my neck. Are you just gonna watch me like a cryptid in the shadows? You can sit on the bed if you want. Ellis stands in frozen contemplation, as if weighing the pros and cons, then takes a tentative step forward. He watches me like a cautious cat, waiting to be shooed away. But when nothing happens, he timidly approaches the foot of the bed. So you're gonna sing me a lullaby? I'm not well practiced in the vocal arts. I'm just kidding. There is one thing I can do for you. Yeah? It's something my mother did when I couldn't fall asleep as a child. Would you like me to show you? I can't deny that I'm kind of curious now. Sure. Ellis gets up and walks over to me. If you could please turn over onto your back. I do as he says, resting my cheek on the pillow. I hope I don't regret this. The mattress sinks again as Ellis sits beside me on the edge. May I have permission to touch you? There's nothing suggestive about Ellis's tone, but the words still take me by surprise. I don't think he realizes how he sounds. Where? Your back. Oh, yeah, go ahead. My face grows warm with embarrassment. Good thing it's buried in the pillow. What did I think he was asking? What is wrong with me? There's a short pause and then slender fingers begin to trace lines down my back. Ellis begins to recite in a quiet voice. Rain, rain, falling down, sinking deep into the ground. Now the worms come out to play, from the dirt where brethren lay. Ellis's fingers begin to snake up my torso and shoulders. Cast a stone. His fists gently press into my back. Pluck a bloom. He slowly pinches my skin though, not enough to hurt. But one day, we'll join them soon. Okay, well that's not creepy. That's not creepy at all, is it? The tactile stuff he's doing with the words is oddly relaxing. Even his monotone delivery creates a repetitive flow that's surprisingly soothing. Ellis repeats everything over again. His voice is touch, the soft rain outside, and eventually lulls me to sleep. Act 2. I'm awake before I even open my eyes. The birds lightly chatter outside my window, and they sound so hopeful. My eyes finally crackle open. The pale morning sun makes my room look washed out, but at least the rain has stopped. Wait, that's right. Ellis stayed over last night. The apartment complex is completely still, however. It doesn't sound like anyone else is here. I slide back the covers and practically jump out of bed to check the living room. Empty. The tension in my stomach unravels, followed by a sinking feeling. Is this disappointment? Was I hoping to see him this morning? Maybe I should give him a call at the very least to thank him. Thoughts of what to say to him swirl through my mind as I walk into the kitchen and step into a large puddle on the floor. A trail of water leads to the fridge. Looks like my freezer completely defrosted overnight. The lights don't work. The power's still out. I had to do something about this. We can't have another repeat of last night. Yes? Hi, it's Yandere from Unit 303. There was a power outage last night and it still hasn't come back on. Oh, no one else said anything about an outage. Are you sure the light bulbs just didn't blow out? My freezer's completely melted and nothing will turn on. My landlord lets out a long sigh like this is more of an inconvenience for him than it is for me. What the hell? I'll send someone to take a look. Thank you. One more thing while I have you. There's been a few reports of someone loitering around the property. Have you noticed anything strange? I haven't seen anyone loitering, but I did get a weird note the other day. A note? All it said was hello, so I didn't think anything of it. My landlord seems to agree, losing interest entirely. What the hell? Maybe it was meant for someone else and they sent it to the wrong unit. Yeah, that's what I figured. Anyway, I'll be sending an official email to the entire building. If you see something, call the police. Okay, thanks. After hanging up, I mop up the water and throw out whatever it doesn't look salvageable from the fridge. About an hour or so later, the digital clock on my stove blinks back on. The electrician knocks on my door shortly after to give me an update. Apparently the breakers are tripped, likely due to a power surge during the storm. Whatever, as long as everything's working again. I plug in my phone and laptop to charge, reset the digital clock on the stove and microwave, and spend more time cleaning out the fridge. The entire ordeal pushes all other things into the dark recesses of my mind, where they eventually get lost. After making some coffee and charging my laptop, I officially clock in at work by checking the emails that already amassed this morning. I respond to them normally, hoping no one notices that my replies are still coming in hours late. I check my personal email too, deleting dozens of promotions to keep them from piling up. There's also the email from my landlord. Attention! There have been reports of an unknown individual wearing black clothing and a face mask loitering around the premises. If you see them, please call the police immediately. Keep your wits about you and your doors locked. I cannot be responsible for your own negligence. Thank you. Black clothing and a face mask. This is a little more concerning than what my landlord shared this morning. Or maybe it's all a misunderstanding. Maybe they're wearing a mask because they're sick or something. Either way, I'll have to be more careful of my surroundings. I try not to focus too much on it and continue working. The week passes like a blur. All I do is work, eat and sleep. I'm juggling multiple projects at work, some of which could be completed weeks ago if they hadn't kept sending revisions. To make matters worse, Benji keeps calling me at the most inopportune times. It all comes to a head one night when he refuses to keep calling. Jesus! Not wanting to break concentration, I turn my phone off. It's okay. I'll just call him back when I'm done. You got to be kidding me. Who the hell is ringing the doorbell? It's the most obnoxious sound in the world. With a sigh, I put my laptop down and get up off the couch. I trudge to the intercom and press the talk button. Who is that? Even through the garbled speaker, the voice responds is immediately recognizable. The coolest guy you know. Not very cool at the moment. I'm busy. Go away. Sorry, I don't know any cool guys. Funny. Beam me up, Scotty. I'm not going to do that. Go away. I buzz him in, unlock the door and return to the couch. Oh, god damn it. Benji enters my apartment a short moment later. Is your phone not working or something? No, you kept bothering me and you wouldn't leave me alone. Well, hello to you too. I turned it off so I could focus on work. Maybe give me a heads up next time? Or maybe don't call me during work hours. Why? You can leave a voicemail if it's urgent. I don't know, maybe so I don't have to come all the way over here to make sure you're okay. You need to chill out. All this worrying isn't healthy. Then maybe don't make me worry. Okay, well you're not entitled to updates and everything about my life. I'm allowed to turn my phone off. And I'm allowed to ask for communication. It's called being a good friend. I don't appreciate you constantly thinking something bad is gonna happen. You're probably manifesting all that shit with your negative energy. Relax, I'm not a wizard. Just want to make sure you weren't taken hostage or anything. Other than by work, that is. Nope, still just a measly underpaid minion. What are you working on anyway? My job! Go away! Benji comes over and takes a peek at my laptop screen. Holy typos. Shut up, I'll spell check it later. I can hang around for support if you want. I don't want you to. It's my day off, so I've got time. Not tonight. I really have to concentrate. Alright, Benji doesn't move and I can see him staring hard at me from the corner of my eye, like he's willing me to look at him. It only makes me want to concentrate harder on my screen. Guess I'll talk to you later. Yeah, after Benji leaves I continue working, but find myself staring at the same line or text for 30 minutes. It usually doesn't take this long to write and edit copy, but inspiration has been scarce lately. Whatever creative juices that flowed back in the day have long since dried up. Everything sounds trite and forced. Nothing feels sincere anymore. No, I swear to God, Benji. I get up and press the intercom button, not even trying to hide the irritation in my voice. What is it this time? There's a few seconds of silence before a different voice responds. Oh, did I disturb you? A soft monotone voice issues from the intercom speaker. Ellis! Sorry, I thought you were someone else. What are you doing here? You went at therapy. I smacked my forehead in realization. Crap, I completely forgot my appointment was today. I tried to call. Yeah, I turned my phone off. Wait, you came all the way here to tell me this? I was concerned and also I wanted to ask if you'd like to join me for a walk. Well, it seems the universe really doesn't want me to finish my work tonight. It's both nice and weird that Ellis came all the way to check up on me, but going on a walk will completely destroy my focus. Now we'll go on that walk. Because they know I'm busy ends the game early. Give me a minute and I'll come down. I throw on a jacket and put on some shoes before heading downstairs. Good evening, Yinny. Hi, Alice. Ellis gives a faint smile and gestures towards the path leading to the sidewalk. Shall we? What time did you leave this morning? Early. Not to feed Sarah. Oh, is that a pet? Yes. Cute name. Is it a dog or a cat? Or... Oh, she's very much a feline, incredibly skittish and despises loud noises. Yeah, cats can be like that. My cat growing up used to be afraid of plastic bags. His name was Chicken, which was pretty fitting. Do you like cats, Yinny? Do we notice that Ellis did not actually confirm whether he had a cat or not? He said that she's very much a feline, and then followed up with personality traits, which meant that she might be feline in terms of personality traits, but not actually a cat. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. I love cats. I thought so. Cats are such elegant, graceful creatures, aren't they? I don't know, Chicken was kind of a menace. His favorite thing to do was throw up on my bed. Oh, my. I'd wake up from a deep sleep just by the sound. It's forever etched into my brain. I suppose I should be thankful that Sarah doesn't have that issue. I do wish she was more receptive to my attentions, however. How long have you had her? About 2 months. Oh yeah, sometimes it takes a few months for cats to adjust to a new home. Yes, I'm hoping that with more time she'll learn to adapt. I'd ask to see a picture, but I know you don't have a phone. I never thought to take pictures. What a lovely idea. Oh no, something does not feel right. We continue to walk down the sidewalk. Ellis occasionally steps aside to let someone pass, but the streets are fairly quiet otherwise. By the way, how did you know I had therapy today? I assumed your weekly spot had stayed the same since last time. Oh, yeah. Did you have therapy today? How'd it go? It was illuminating. At least one of us is making progress. Can't believe I missed my second appointment ever. You'll find Dr. J to be quite lenient. Good to know. I definitely can't afford any late fees right now. If you must, you can feign illness. They offer waivers for medical causes. Really? How do you know that? I've used a few. My eyes drift over the scars on Ellis's face before I catch myself and quickly look away. Will you look at my scars, Yandere? Sorry, I didn't mean to stare. No need to apologize, they are rather conspicuous. I keep them hidden to avoid causing discomfort. But of course, there are some I cannot hide. Do people treat you differently because of them? Some express curiosity, some express pity. Some express even fear and keep their distance. I'm sorry, that must be hard to deal with. They're just scars, you shouldn't have to cover them because other people suck. If you don't want to cover them up when you're with me, feel free not to. Oh, that's very kind of you, Yandere. I'm afraid it's become a bit of a habit. I was encouraged to conceal them early on. Even after reconstructive surgery, Father was still displeased with the results. Really? He found the scars grotesque and demanded they be covered in his presence. Aww. I wasn't allowed at the dinner table if they were too visible. I wore the bandages well past the time it took them to heal for this very reason. That's horrible. How could he do that just because of a scar? Father believed it was entirely my fault. He claimed I'd been forever branded by the devil for my misdeeds. He sounds like a terrible person, Ellis. I'm really sorry. All's in the past. How did you get them? Sorry, that was probably too personal of a question. You don't have to answer. You asked, Yandere. I'm willing to share. After my mother passed, I began collecting keepsakes to honor her memory. Her cherished items, garments, even a lock of her hair. My father feared it rendered me too attached. One day he found all my keepsakes and set them on fire. I suppose I wasn't quite myself then when I leapt into the flames. My only thought was to salvage what I could, but the flames had already turned everything to ash. Did I just hear that correctly? He jumped into a fire. I can't imagine ever doing that to save someone. Nothing's that important, but at the same time I kind of understand. It wasn't that he valued something more than his own life. It's that in that moment, he didn't value his life at all. There's a difference and I know exactly how that feels. My father simply stood and watched until the maids pulled me out. Had it not been for their swift action, the scarring would have been far more severe. However, I don't think I would have minded. These scars are all I have that's left of her memory. I'm so sorry, Ellis. I can't believe your father did that. Yes, well, he was always a bad-tempered sort of man. Do you still talk to him? No. He passed away not long after my mother did. I'm sorry. There's no need to apologize. He wasn't missed. I still feel bad. I didn't mean to make you bring up these terrible memories. You want to know more about me, Yandere. And that pleases me more than you could imagine. Well, thank you for trusting me enough to share about your mom. I can tell you cared for her a lot. Yes, she has a rare and beautiful soul. Something I sense in you as well. Why sense when you can feel? Maybe later. I've got scars too. You do? Yeah, mostly on my legs, some on my arms. I used to, hurt myself. For some reason it feels refreshing to say that out loud. This isn't information I normally share with others, even though I've grown less vigilant about hiding them. But Ellis seems like he'd understand. I see. I imagine that provided immense relief. For a time, it was the only thing that did. His response is already a lot more validating than the first time Benji found out. Benji made me show him every single one of my scars. Like he wanted to memorize and keep track of them. Oh my god. Yes. You must have been in a great deal of pain. Yeah, I couldn't process what I was feeling and I just need to feel something, even for just a second. The pain from a kind of something you can see and feel and you can trace it to its source. And it eventually heals. The same can't be said for everything else. Ellis stops walking for a moment to stare at me. Was it too much? Did I offend him? Not that... not that this is the answer, I just meant I didn't know what else to do at the time. Sorry if that was depressing. No, Yandere, I never heard anyone explain it so accurately. What that feels like. Then it hits me. Ellis knows. He's been through this too. There's a look in his eyes that I recognize only because I've seen that look on my own face staring in a mirror, wondering how much longer I could hold on. I wait for Ellis to explain further, but he doesn't, and I respect that. And I don't press any further. He takes a few steps to catch up to me, and we continue walking again. The urge to lighten the mood bubbles up in my chest, and I swallow it down. It doesn't seem appropriate, and surprisingly, I don't need the distraction as much as right now. I'm kind of okay with just sitting with this feeling, the awkwardness and the comfort. Thank you for sharing that with me, Yandere. I want to learn more about you. Same here. Oh, in that case, you're always welcome to ask me anything. Sorry if I made you feel weird at all, though. I'm sure you're sick of people noticing your scars. I don't mind if they're noticed. It's the reactions that I don't care for. But these scars are a part of me, and I prefer that you see them. Perhaps one day I'll show you all of them. That is, if you aren't repulsed by the idea. I am not. It seems like Ellis is trying to demonstrate trust in me by offering that. Maybe I'm the first person he's wanted to show. I think they're beautiful. You think they're beautiful? Yeah, I do. There's a story behind every scar, and I think there's something really beautiful about that. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. I obviously don't know what it's like to be in your shoes. No one has ever said that to me. No one has ever called them beautiful. Thank you, Yandere. I find you beautiful as well. Particularly right now beneath the moonlight. I've been wanting to tell you this the whole time, but the words got stuck. That's really nice of you to say, Ellis. I'm not being nice, I'm being honest. I enjoy looking at you. Wow, I enjoy looking at you too. The tinge of heat in my cheeks takes me by surprise. I can't even remember the last time I blushed like this. My own embarrassment at my reaction makes my face feel even hotter, and I look down at my feet as we continue to walk. Maybe I should change the subject. It's a nice night, isn't it? Not too cold? Yes, the temperature is perfect. Although I enjoy cooler weather as well. Yeah, fall is definitely my favorite season. Nothing better than crisp air, rustling leaves, and pumpkins everywhere. I'm also partial to the autumnal months, although I find the quiet reflection in the winter to be the best of all. Really, I can't stand the snow. There's nothing more delightful than a hot cup of tea on a wintry day. We eventually reach a main road, as though we turn around and walk back the way we came. Neither of us speak for a while, and everything is quiet aside from the whoosh of a few cars that pass us by. Thanks again for checking on me. You're welcome, you said we're therapy buddies. I'm embarrassed that you remember that. I remember everything you say. That's right, your good memory. I'll have to watch what I say from now on. Please don't. I'd like for you to speak freely with me. Oh, I was just joking, Ellis. Thank goodness. To be honest, I probably speak more freely with you than with anyone else. It's kind of strange, considering we just met. That has been my experience as well. I was never a talkative child. It's still somewhat difficult for me even now. I used to throw fits as a child because of it. My father thought it was a defect. But Mother always knew what I was thinking and what I was feeling. We had a soul bond, you see. There was no need for words. Ellis stops for a moment and softly clears his throat. Of course, I'm aware that most people do require a series of words to be strung together. I'm willing to oblige if I must. I take it you don't like small talk. I abhor it. Would it be fair to say that you find it a bore? I let out a small laugh at my own joke, then quickly cringe inside. Oh, I see. Ellis laughs quietly into his hand. It's the first time I've ever heard him laugh, which stuns me for a second. It's a soft, breathy sound, almost like a wheeze. Thanks for laughing at my dumb joke. It was very amusing. Very clever. In all seriousness, though, don't feel pressured to talk if you don't feel like it. Thank you. These exchanges with you haven't been entirely unpleasant, however. I give a nervous laugh. That's good. Even when I saw you the first day, I didn't experience the same reluctance I typically do. Why? I'm still trying to understand that myself. What I do know is that I enjoy being near you. And I find myself frequently thinking of you. I wonder where you are, what you're doing, what expression you have on your face. Ellis suddenly stops his train of thought, as if realizing he might have said too much. I enjoy being near you too. Truly. Yeah, you're good company. I wasn't exactly looking to make a new connection, but this has been nice. It has. I'm not used to such consistent engagement. It is a welcome change. Do you not have other people in your life? Friends? Family? I am an only child, and the relatives I have left are across the country. As for friends, they don't seem to last. I'm sorry to hear that. Friendships can be tough. You know how the saying goes, something about plants and how some need more watering than others, but I give them plenty of water. I mean, maybe they're succulents. I'm definitely a cactus. You water me too much and I'll wilt. Do you mean to say that by providing too much water they'll never experience thirst and thus never appreciate the gift of quenching it? That's one way of looking at it. I see. Thank you for your input. How much water do you need? As much as one is willing to offer, even if it is but a drop. I love the way he talks. My apartment building comes into view again. I instinctively begin to slow down, racking my brain to try and come up with something to say next, but I don't have to think for long. As we near, a figure straightens up from where it was leaning against the iron fence. Oh shit, what if it's the person loitering around that building? It's probably Benji. But as we get closer, I recognize the dark green hair. Oh, not this shit again. God, I was so worried. I didn't know where the hell you were. Why are you back? Why are you here again, Benji? I came back to drop off some food. Figured you'd be so glued to work you forget to eat. I see that's not the case. That's when I notice a brown paper bag on the ground next to Benji's feet. You didn't have to do that, but Benji's already noticed Ellis at my side. Who's this? This is Ellis. We met at therapy. Benji briefly glances at Ellis as if to size him up, then turns back to me. You never told me that. I'm telling you now. I thought you were super busy with work tonight. I was. I'm just getting some fresh air, and this guy just happened to come along. Why are you being like this? Being like what? Not doing anything. You're being a jerk. I'm the jerk. You were so quick to get me out of your place earlier, and now I know why. What I do with my time is none of your business. Excuse me. Is there a problem? I'm talking to my friend. You seem to be causing her distress. Who the hell asked you? Benji! But he ignores me and continues to glare at Ellis. You need to use her own words. You need to speak for her. Yes, and she's already expressed discomfort, which you've thrice ignored. Listen, I know who the hell you are, but this is none of your business. My name is wasn't asking. Can you please tell this clown to mind his own business? I must ask that you refrain from addressing Yinny until you composed yourself. Jesus. Is this guy for real? Where'd you find him anyway, the Victorian era? Is he gonna challenge me to a duel? Oh, shut up. Leave him alone. Listen, buddy. The tough guy act is cute and all, but I can't take you seriously in that cashmere sweater. Ellis softly closed his throat. It's merino wool. Cashmere is more prone to pilling. Oh, Edgar Allan Poe here's got jokes. I'm impressed. But seriously, does this posh vampire librarian thing work for you? Like, does it actually get you laid? Ellis suddenly glances at me as if looking for guidance or maybe permission. He seems to sense this is all going downhill, but unsure if he wants to continue escalating it. Ask Benji to leave. Yeah, go away, Benji. Thank you for the food, but... not good. Alright, that's enough. Go home, Benji. What? I brought you food. I don't want to, and you're pissing me off right now. Oh, come on, you of all people should know how to take a joke. You're being rude to my friend, and I asked you to stop multiple times. Friend? Don't be so naive, Yinny. Pretty sure he's got more in mind than friendship. That's none of your concern. Look at the blush. Well, I sure hope he has more in his mind than friendship. Because I want this man to spelunk my caverns. Oh, so now you understand the concept of minding your own business. Look at his face though, guilty as charged. You talk all fancy, but you're just another boy, aren't you? I admit it, you're just here to get into Yinny's pants. That's not true, Yinny. I never stooped to such indecent behavior. My intentions are pure. As are mine. Not really, no. If you have to say that, then not. Alright, enough of this. Benji, will you please just go already? Fine, but don't come crying to me when you wake up drained of blood and missing a few organs. Ah ha ha. Very funny. I'm not joking. Dude looks like he hasn't fed in a while. Good night, Benji. Yeah, whatever. Benji stomps off towards his car parked on the other side of the street. Are you alright, Yinny? Yeah, I'm sorry about that. What a vulgar young man. He's usually not like that. I don't know what's gotten into him. He seemed to take an issue with my attire, and convinced I was a vampire. Ignore him, he was just being a jerk. He upset you, Yinny. That isn't something I can ignore. If you ever need assistance, please, don't hesitate to ask. Thanks, but I can handle him. I'm sorry he ruined our walk, though. He didn't. But perhaps we can meet again. Without the interference. Sure, I like that. Actually, do you want to get coffee sometime? Might be nice if we met up during the day for once. Yes. If you're free this weekend, there's a great diner that serves breakfast all day. It's nothing fancy, but the coffee's hot. Ellis nods in agreement. I give him the location details after we settle on meeting this Saturday. I look forward to seeing you again. Yeah, me too. I give Ellis a wave goodbye, and turn around to head inside. The days go by, both fast and slow, which always happens when I'm anticipating something. Benji still hasn't reached out. Usually, he's the first to apologize regardless of who was wrong. This time around, it was all him. He's known for firing off a quip or two in good fun, but this is different. He was just being mean. It's finally the weekend. My nerves wake me up earlier than usual, and instead of staring at the back of my eyelids, willing myself to fall back asleep, I decide to get up. By the time I've showered, gotten dressed, and double-checked my reflection in the mirror, there's still plenty of time until I have to meet Ellis. I head downstairs, and rather than take the bus, I decide to enjoy a long leisurely walk to the diner. The morning rush is just beginning to settle down once I get there, and I've no trouble finding an empty booth. I order a coffee and peruse the laminated menu. At 10 o'clock on the dot, Ellis walks in through the doors and spots me immediately. He comes over to the booth and sits across from me. I find him so cute. Good morning, Yinny. Morning. I know we're meeting for coffee, but if you haven't already eaten, the food here is pretty good. It's all breakfast items. Yeah, they serve it all day. How peculiar. It's kind of their specialty. You never been to an all-day breakfast place? We had our breakfast at home. I mean, same here, but... I point to another booth where someone's enjoying a stack of pancakes, piled with ice cream, bananas, and whipped cream and a cherry. Did your family ever make banana split pancakes? No. Ellis takes a moment to take in the atmosphere, as if critiquing a painting. I suppose there is something comforting about the atmosphere. Yeah, I love it. The server comes over to take our orders. I get the pancake special and Ellis orders a fruit plate, toast and tea. May I inquire as to the ratio of Assam to Ceylon in your English breakfast blend? The server looks at Ellis with a mix of confusion and irritation. Not sure. Pity. Do you still want it? I suppose. The server scribbles something in a notepad and leaves to put in the order. There's a short moment of silence as Ellis studies a small bowl of flavoured coffee creamers. He seems out of place here, sitting against the worn vinyl seats and dull silverware. So how was the rest of your week? I mostly spent it reading. That sounds nice. What did you like to read? I enjoy the works of Pushkin, Radcliffe and... Kierkegaard, to name a few. Do you enjoy reading, Yinny? I do, but I just don't have the time these days. I sure do. I read a lot of fan fiction. Particularly Helloyinny, Fide, and Renhung. The only novels I read now are emails from my boss. May I ask what you do? I'm a copywriter. A writer? How fascinating. I feel more like a salesperson than a writer. How about you? What do you do for a living? Nothing. I've been there. The job market's terrible right now. Where did you work before? Nowhere. I've never been employed. Really? How do you get by? I received my inheritance early after my parents passed away. the sum of which has been more than enough to live comfortably on. Oh, that makes sense. We're momentarily interrupted when the food arrives, and I'm thankful for the distraction. The conversation was getting a little heavy. I start adding syrup to my stack of pancakes when Ellis stares disdainfully at the tea bag placed inside his mug of hot water. Is something wrong? Oh, no. Would you rather have coffee instead? I don't drink coffee. Same. Oh, why didn't you say so before? We didn't have to come here. You invited me here, Yinny. I would have been okay going anywhere. Those are my sentiments as well. As if to demonstrate his contentment, Ellis begins lightly buttering his toast. I hope the commute over here wasn't too far. Not at all. It took me precisely 52 minutes. Well, that's not exactly short. Next time we can go someplace closer to you. Next time, I'll be sure to research some places we can go. Then maybe you could come over for tea afterwards. I have various blends, green, black, and herbal. Have you ever had blooming tea, Yinny? It's quite lovely and the flowers are edible. My lips stretch into a small smile. I think this is the most Alice has spoken without continued prompting. It's a huge difference than our first conversation where he barely said more than a few words at a time. It makes me happy to know he's getting more comfortable with me. I'd love to come over for tea. Then it's settled. I notice he still hasn't touched the tea he ordered. Maybe he's really particular about his tea. How exciting. I haven't hosted anyone at the house in months. I'll have to make preparations. Oh, you live in a house? Yes, it is a quaint Second Empire-style home. Well over 100 years old. Ooh, have you seen any ghosts? At least once a day. Ellis maintains a blank expression, so it's difficult to tell if he's being serious or not. A small laugh escapes me anyway. Can you imagine if he was serious? And do you live alone? I have Sarah. Oh, that's right, your cat. Is she pretty rambunctious or quiet? It depends on the day. I'm kind of jealous you have a cat though. Must be nice to have something cute waiting for you at home. I really don't think it's a cat. Do you not enjoy living alone, Yinny? It's nice having the privacy of my own space, but it can get lonely sometimes too. It can get lonely with company as well. A fair point, but not at present. I'm very grateful to have met you, Yinny. Me too. There's something I've been curious about. That night when you first walked me home from the bus stop, why did you follow me? Because you said hello. And that's it. It is not often that people notice me first. It was quite special. Something about that doesn't sit well with me, but I've been ignoring the red flags up until this point, so why stop now? I've been dodging everything. I know you must not have a need for me, seeing as you're already spoken for. But I still want to see you again. Spoken for? The vulgar young man. You mean Benji? It's not like that. He seems to care a great deal for you. He even feeds you, does he not? I mean, yeah, but I never asked for those things. How sad for him then, that his efforts are wasted. Are you seriously defending him? Not at all, it was simply an observation. Those we choose may not always choose us in return. But how wonderful would it be if they did? If our efforts weren't just appreciated but reciprocated. I know Ellis is just being empathetic, but I'm still a little annoyed. I'm sure Benji would agree. Then perhaps he should place his efforts elsewhere. There's a firmness in Ellis's tone as he says that, and for some reason I feel relieved or validated. Like he understands that it's not my fault. I never asked for any of it. Benji's care, Benji's worries, Benji's feelings, his everything. Yeah, he should. I'm sure there's someone out there who could make him happy. And what about you, Yinny? Do you believe there's someone out there who could make you happy? He asked the question as if he already knows the answer. As if there's only one answer. Yes. I mean, I like to think there's someone out there. Whether it's a friend or whatever, it doesn't matter. Just someone who understands and accepts me. Do I make you feel understood and accepted, Yinny? I laugh nervously. It's a little too soon to say. But so far, I'd say you've come closer than most. Alright, how about you? Same question. Do you believe someone's out there for you? I do. Has anyone come close in the past? Yes, finding them isn't the issue. It's keeping them that continues to be a challenge. Oh god. Yeah, I think I can relate. It feels like I have to bend over backwards just to keep people in my life. I'm starting to wonder if it's easier to let them go. Yes, I've had similar thoughts. Do you also sometimes feel like you don't give people enough? Like their needs are beyond your capacity? Quite the opposite. I give too much. My capacities are beyond their needs. Oh, and I always lose them this way. They can never endure. Ellis stares off as if remembering something painful. I'm sorry, Ellis. We can talk about something else. Yinny, you asked me why I followed you. May I ask why you allowed it? I wouldn't say I allowed it, but it's not like we can control what people do, right? But to answer your question, I think I was just curious. Also, I have no sense of self-preservation. I thought you were hot. Curious. I think you're attractive. Oh, I see. Has no one ever told you that? No. I'm a little surprised by that. I suppose most wouldn't consider him conventionally attractive by mainstream standards, unless they're like me and find my eye bags and morose expressions appealing. But the more I look at him, the more I notice he's actually really pretty. He's got nice hair, a cute little mole on his cheek, and eyes that remind me of sunsets. Really, you got that tortured soul thing going on. People would be all over that where I'm from. Ellis looks like he's shrinking into himself. Sorry, was that out of line? I'm just not accustomed to hearing such feedback. Got it. I'll back off. No, I'm glad my features are to your liking. It pleases me to hear you say that, but perhaps in increments will be best. Our conversation is halted when the server comes around to refill my coffee. I'm grateful for the interruption to recollect my thoughts. Ellis also seems relieved to take a break from talking, so I focus on eating and let him do the same. We occasionally glance up at each other, but neither of us feel a need to say anything. It's kind of nice, actually. When we both finish our meals, I offer to pay the bill, but Ellis already has counted out more than enough money to pay for his portion. After paying, the two of us step outside again, the afternoon sun feeling warm on my face despite the crisp chill in the air. I hope you have a newfound love for diners now. I certainly do. They remind me of you now. I laugh at the thought of being associated with burnt coffee and pancakes, but I figure that's not the worst thing in the world. Ellis tilts his head and watches me, the corners of his own lips curving upwards. His smile wavers slightly like he's not sure I'm laughing at him or not, but there's a soft gleam in his eyes. Yandere, may I walk you home? Sure. Ellis waits for me to start walking, then steps alongside me, matching his pace with mine. He keeps a respectable distance between us, but remains close enough so we can still talk. He points out some flowers growing in various yards as we pass, and he politely gives me their common and scientific names. We finally reach my street and make our way towards my apartment building. I feel myself naturally slowing my pace until we stop in front of the main entrance. Here we are. Thanks for walking me home again. I had fun today. I did as well. Thank you for inviting me out. I'd like to see you again, Yandere. Yeah, you still have to make me tea, remember? Yes. It will have to wait, however. It has come to my attention that there are some things I must take care of. What, like getting rid of Sarah? Your cat? No problem. I hope everything's okay. It will be. Thank you for your concern. No pressure. Just let me know when you're free. It should only take a week or two, and then, yes, I will be free. I feel like there's a double meaning to that. Okay. Take care until then, Ellis. Thank you, Yandere. Until next we meet. A week goes by and I don't hear from Ellis. No more run-ins at therapy. He did say he'd be busy for a week, so I don't get too concerned. At least not until another week goes by, then another. I contemplate calling him just to check in, but something tells me if he wanted that, he would have made an appearance by now. Benji doesn't contact me either, which tells me he's really upset. That, or he's feeling ashamed of his behavior. Just when it seems like he's disappeared off the face of the earth, he randomly calls one night to invite me to the bar. It's another slow shift and he's experimenting with some new drinks to pass the time. He's probably hoping to repair things between us by offering free booze, but testing out his concoction sounds better than sitting at home with my thoughts. As I walk into the bar, Benji's busily measuring various syrups and juices into a glass. Where are your safety goggles, young man? Benji doesn't answer and instead turns to grab a bottle from the shelf behind him. He's the one who called me here, now he's being passive-aggressive. Fine, I'll just leave. I take a seat at the bar and wait until he notices me. Hey, Yandere. Sorry, I was concentrating. No problem. Thanks for coming, by the way. Missed you. His smile looks too taut for his face, but I can tell he's really trying. Me too. Thanks for inviting me. And about the other night, I know I was out of line. Yeah, you seem like a totally different person, Benji. I guess I was just jealous. Why? It seemed like you didn't want me around and I came back to find you with Count Dracula. Okay, can you stop calling him stuff like that? His name is Ellis. Ellis? No wonder he looks so miserable. Okay. I don't want to laugh. That was kind of funny. Hey, dude, you're in the middle of an apology, remember? Oh, right. Anyway, I'm not gonna lie, it kinda hurt to see you with him. But that gave me no right to take it out on you and I'm sorry. It's okay. I can see why you got upset. But honestly, it was just a short walk. He came by to see why I missed therapy, that's all. Oh, nice. Yeah, it was actually. Are you like into him or something? What? When did I ever say that? You don't have to get defensive, it's just a question. And what if I am? I say that's kind of fast. You went to therapy one time and now you're suddenly in love with this guy? I didn't say love. Whoa, who said anything about love? I don't think it tastes this bad, it gives me the creeps. You want to talk? Want me to list off all your problematic exes? This isn't about me, this is about you. Is it really about me? Or is this about your feelings? What? You've always been weird about people I dated and even my friends in the past. Yeah, because they all sucked. No, you just didn't like sharing the spotlight. Oh my god, is that really what you think? It's true though. It's not healthy to only have one person in your life for everything. I want to meet other people too, and so should you. I don't want other people. I want things to go back to how they were. It doesn't work like that, Benji. Things change, people change, it's how we grow. Just do whatever you want. The conversation pauses for a moment as Benji turns away to grab more ingredients. I watch his back as he combines liquor, syrup, and juice together in the cocktail glass with precise care. From the way Benji barely keeps my gaze, it seems he's still frustrated. But the way he slides the drink across the counter feels like the extension of an olive branch. Looks pretty. What is it? Lavender gimlet. Let me know what you think. Benji keeps himself busy with his recipe experiments. It feels like he's paying attention to everything else but me. We don't talk much for the rest of the evening, and when we do, the conversation feels strained. Once I finish this drink, I'll go home. How did I get outside? Oh no. My head. Benji? Benji, what the hell did you put in that drink? I closed my eyes to quell the urge to vomit. It's okay, Yandere. You just drank too much. I had one drink. I'll be right back. I just have to grab something from the car. I hear Benji's voice from somewhere in the room, followed by his footsteps as he leaves. I feel like shit. Did I really drink that much? I don't remember. I had one. Where is it? It feels like an entire hour has passed. The door just opened. Yandere, are you alright? Stay silent. I try to open my eyes, but everything's still spinning. I close them again just for a little while until the spinning stops. Not to worry. Everything will be okay now. Something cold grazes my cheek. Half awake, I think I hear someone whisper my name. What? I'm still feeling slightly groggy, but not as inebriated as before. I'm in my bed. How did I get here? My eyes haven't been open for more than a few seconds when some movement to my left makes me look up. Hi, Ellis. I'm totally not creeped out, but how'd you get in here? The mattress sinks as someone sits down on the edge of the bed. Ellis. Did I wake you? How did you get in? Someone was kind enough to let me into your building. When I got to your door, it was unlocked. Oh, God. Don't worry, I locked it for you. I also found you asleep on the couch, but I thought you preferred to be in bed. Wait, you carried me here? I attempted to, but you insisted on walking yourself. I have no memory of that. Yes, you didn't seem quite yourself, Yandere. I haven't gotten this drunk in a long time. I guess my alcohol tolerance has gone out the window. At least I got home okay, though. I can't seem to remember much. I was with Benji and there was a car and then I came home. The rest of it's pretty murky. Almost as murky as the shadows in this room. Ellis, why are the lights off? I thought it might be more comfortable for you if they were off. Can you please turn them on? Of course, Yandere. Let me get you some water first. There is no way one drink would have knocked me out like that. I genuinely think Benji did something. Ellis gets up from the bed and leaves the room. I can hear him opening the cabinets in the kitchen and the sound of the faucet turning on. When he returns, he hands me a glass of water. Staying hydrated should help regulate your temperature. I'm not sick, Ellis. I just had a few too many drinks. Perhaps you should reconsider your nightly activities and the company you keep. The cold shift in his tone is noticeable. I made some bad decisions tonight, but I don't need the commentary. Of course. My apologies, Yandere. I suppose I'm somewhat confused by your behavior. Even after choosing me, you continue to seek his company. Choosing you? You sent him away the other night. I sent him away so that he didn't keep fighting with you. It was a wise choice, Yandere. A choice I hope you'll continue to honor, for I fear it may do you both harm. Rest assured my grievances are not with you, but with the friend who put you in this state. One can't help but wonder what sort of friend would willingly do such a thing. One might also question the intentions of such a friend. I get it, you don't like Benji, but I'm the one who chose to drink. He didn't force it down my throat. Your loyalty is admirable. I can only hope to one day be its recipient. It still doesn't make sense why Ellis is here. It's not the first time he's dropped by unannounced, but this doesn't feel right. Yeah, what happened to Benji saying that he was gonna be back? I'm definitely sure Ellis has done something. Both of them are so shady. Why would he come here so late? And why would someone let a stranger into the building? Our landlord just warned us about someone creeping around the property. Why are you here, Ellis? Ellis stares at me blankly for a moment. It's the kind of pause that tells me he knows the answer but doesn't want to share. It had been so long and I didn't want to keep you waiting. You could have just called. If I hadn't come, who knows what might have happened. I really do appreciate you locking the door and stuff, but that still doesn't explain why you came in the first place. I wish to see you. Is that not reason enough? It's just a little strange. I don't understand. Are you upset with me, Yandere? I'm confused. Ellis looks away for a moment in contemplation. I'm sorry. For making you wait so long, it was unacceptable. What? That's not what I meant to call you earlier, but things took longer than expected. But I'm finally ready for you now. I can give my full self to you properly. Oh, he's definitely killed someone in the last couple of weeks. The way I wanted to. The way you deserve. You've been so good and waited so patiently. And now you get your reward. What would you like, Yandere? We're gonna do love first, and then I wanna try like the you're scaring me and see what happens. Love? Love. Yes. That's what this is, isn't it? I don't think that's it. It's been a long time since I felt it so deeply. I'm not certain I'm prepared. But how could I deny you, Yandere? I'll show you love in every way I can to the best of my ability. We stare at each other in acknowledgement. We both understand what this means. To be honest, I don't know if this is love. I just know that I haven't wanted to be with someone in a long time. I've forgotten what that feels like. Maybe it feels like love because I love the fact that, for the first time in forever, the emotion thrumming in my chest isn't fear. It's possible this is purely a case of loneliness or denial. That maybe the delusion feels safer, feels better than whatever I was feeling before Ellis came along. Despite all this, something inside me still screams that this is wrong. But I want to believe in this moment. I want to believe these feelings are real. Time to kiss him. I lean in towards him slightly, but he doesn't budge. I really want to kiss you right now. Is that okay? Oh, only if you want to. No pressure. A kiss is how one expresses their affection. It can be, yeah. Have you ever kissed someone before? Mother used to kiss me on the forehead. This'll be different than that. Oh yes, of course, I know you're not Mother. I know that the kiss shared between lovers is an entirely separate experience. And I'd like to express my feelings in a way you'd understand. If a kiss is what you desire, then I'd like to be the one to give it to you. Are you sure? I am. Okay, then come here. Ellis sits down on the edge of the bed, closes his eyes and waits patiently, which is kind of hilarious but mostly adorable. Leaning in, I give him a quick chase kiss. His lips are cold, like he just came in from outside and he exhales audibly the moment they touch mine. I pull back to check on him. Are you still okay? Rather than answer, Ellis leans forward and continues the kiss. He doesn't move his lips or anything, just kind of presses them against mine. There's an innocence to it all, like it somehow feels like my first kiss too. I guess in a way it sort of is. It's my first time kissing someone who doesn't make me feel like they need something else or something more from me. Someone who makes me feel precious because I'm special, not because I'm fragile. Ellis's cold lips eventually warm up and he starts to move them a little more. Experimenting with different amounts of pressure, roaming from one corner of my mouth to the other. I can't help but melt into it, deepening the kiss without realizing it. When my tongue slips between his lips, he lets out a stifled gasp. Sorry, was that too much? That was strange and wonderful. I liked it too. We lock eyes for a moment, long enough for my cheeks to start burning. The word wonderful sounds more appropriate to describe a painting or a book or something. We're taught to want words like hot or sexy, not wonderful. But coming from him, it feels like the greatest praise in the world. Was I adequate? You're perfect. Thank you. Ellis stares at me with a mixture of curiosity and awe. His expression suggests that a question has been answered, but that's also unveiled a series of even more questions. What an exhilarating experience. I know it's just a kiss, but to be someone's first feels exciting and extremely nerve-wracking. If he hadn't kissed anyone before, then does that also mean... Oh god, stop. I think I should go to sleep now. Of course, he must be tired. I wait for him to leave, but he doesn't, and only continues to stare down at me. Close your eyes, What about you? I'll stay here until you fall asleep. Now the sooner you close your eyes, the sooner it'll be morning. The sooner we can start a new life together. I am very nervous. A new life? That sounds a tad dramatic. I am gonna wake up in his house. What do you mean? Why, we've committed ourselves to one another, haven't we? Come morning, we can start living towards that commitment. Okay, maybe not the exact words I use, but his enthusiasm is kinda cute. Yeah, maybe we can go on a date to celebrate. Anything you want, Teeny. Good behavior begets good rewards. Now I really must insist. It's time to sleep. I know how excited you must be, but proper rest is of vital importance. Oh, he's so creepy. I don't typically respond well to being told what to do, but my eyes flutter closed. This doesn't exactly feel like I'm being told what to do. It's almost like I'm being taken care of, which is strange because up until now I thought I hated that feeling. But maybe that's because being taken care of always felt like being pushed into a cage. Ellis doesn't seem like he wants to do that. I feel like he does. Literally. There's a courtesy, a deference to the way he treats me. And that even if there was a cage, it'd be used to preserve and protect, not imprison. Or maybe that's just a narrative I'm telling myself. Good night, Yandere. I feel soft fingers patting my head. The fact that the lights are off doesn't seem to bother me as much. My mind is wonderfully clear and empty. No thoughts, no fears, no sensation of being swallowed up of drowning in shadows and nothingness. Just his presence anchoring me in the dark. End of Act 2. Oh, I'm so nervous. Oh my god. Something is definitely wrong with that man. Let's go back here though and say, you're scaring me, Ellis. Oh god, he's just staring at me. Don't you ever grow weary of being scared, Yandere? Of course I do. This has nothing to do with it. I don't understand. Have I done something wrong? Ellis, you pretty much broke into my apartment. That's not normal. The door was unlocked. It doesn't matter. You don't just walk into someone's place without permission. Aren't you pleased to see me? I thought we were beyond these useless conventions. I thought we were building a bond. I've been nothing but the perfect gentleman. I've been so very patient. His voice is starting to tremble, hinting at something volatile beneath. Oh god. The quiet, reserved person he always presented is not in this room anymore. I back up on the bed, slowly making my way to the other side before standing up. Upon seeing me, Ellis takes a step closer, which puts me on high alert. Where are you going, Yandere? Time to fight! I lunge at Ellis, using the full weight of my body to push him to the ground. I'm not sure what's come over me. The adrenaline surging through my veins has turned fear and confusion into aggression. Before I know it, my fist cracks against Ellis's face. I raise my fist in the air to hit him again when the sound of his laughter makes me stop. What the hell are you laughing at? Oh, I'm not laughing at you, Yandere. This is all so very exciting. You're insane. Ellis is too busy laughing to respond. It's unsettling and demoralizing. He's enjoying this. My fist continues to hover in the air, but whatever aggression I was feeling before quickly burns away. My arms are suddenly pinned to my sides and the wind's knocked down on me as my back hits the floor. Oh great, oh dear. Get the I begin to scream, but it's abruptly cut off as cold hands encircle my throat. I scratch at Ellis's fingers to pry them open, but the grip is too tight. I'm tired, and a few hours into a fresh hangover, he has the advantage here. There's no need to shout. I'm right here. Blood drips from Ellis's nose at an alarming rate, trickling down his chin and staining his teeth as he smiles at me. Droplets of warm blood splash onto my face, and I can feel them merging with the tears streaming from my eyes to slide down the edges of my cheeks. His chest expands and contracts while he slowly chokes me, breaths escaping in erratic gasps. It almost sounds like he's panting. Forgive me, Yinny. I can't seem to help myself. I've never seen this side of you, so wild and uninhibited and alive. It makes me feel alive as well. Well, I'm not gonna be alive for longer. I'm gonna be freaking dead. My lungs ache with the lack of air, heaving and convulsing, desperate to get a sip of oxygen. I need to breathe. I can't wait to see what other sides you have. I'm sure they're all equally dazzling. You'll show me, won't you? He hasn't loosened his hands to allow me to speak. I don't think he means for me to answer. Oh. He lowers his voice, speaking like he's uncovered a rare treasure that only he knows about. A treasure he wishes to keep secret to hold for himself. Look how big your eyes have become. They're shining so brightly. I don't think you've ever looked at me like this before. Painted in my fluids, the very blood that burns at the sight of you. Can we maybe turn back time and we'll just be romantic again and you can paint me in some other fluids? That yearns to be one with you, creating hues that only we could make. I'm certain you're just as beautiful inside as you are outside. Please don't check. Brimming with colors and warmth. I'm getting excited just thinking about it. My bone presses painfully into my trachea, bobbing helplessly with each futile attempt to breathe while the most horrific sounds escape my lips. The lack of oxygen burns in my lungs. Throbs in my head, my body continues to heave, not doing anything it can to get a sip of air, not understanding why it can't. As my consciousness begins to fade, I can barely register the fingers bruising my throat, the pressure of his chest against mine, the hard floor against my back. Am I dying? Am I going to die like this? Leaving so soon? That's alright. You go ahead and rest now. We have all the time in the world. The darkness finally swallows me up, just like I've always feared. The last thing I hear is Ellis's voice swirling around me like a thick, sick fog. Sweet dreams, Yinny. End of Act 2. Oh my god, it's not even a dead end, it's a continuation end. That is terrifying. Which makes me realize that, like, after we wake up, even in the good route, we are just gonna be at his place. Well, I'm gonna flee. I push past Ellis and run towards the bedroom door. Part of me knows I'm not thinking clearly, that I should probably be more strategic about this, but my body's just telling me to run. I'm halfway through the doorway when two arms wrap tightly around my waist, halting my momentum. Let me go! If I do that, you try to run again. No, I won't, I swear, please, you're hurting me. Forgive me for using such rough hands. I'm normally quite capable of being gentle, but you left me no other choice. I'm sorry, I won't try to run, I promise. Please, just let me go. I will, Yinny, once you settle down. It doesn't matter what I say, he's just gonna keep doing whatever he wants. Why are you doing this? Have I not made myself clear? I've chosen you. Above all, I've chosen you. And I believe you've chosen me in return. Trust me, Yinny, I wouldn't do this without careful consideration. Your words, your actions. You want to belong, you want a home, you want to be loved. And I do as well. I can give you those things. I do my best to appeal to whatever bits of rationality exists behind those deranged eyes. Ellis, do you hear yourself right now? You barely even know me. Let's just talk about this, okay? Why, we are talking, Yinny, and I think it's going quite well. To be honest, I assumed you'd put up more of a fight, but perhaps you're already starting to accept. Mother did say, good boys who follow through shall always have a friend or two. What does he mean by that? Am I going to die? Is he going to kill me? I'd taken a deep breath to let out a scream. Someone help! But it's abruptly cut off by Ellis's hands. I twist and flail my body in an attempt to wrench myself away, doing my best to use the floor beneath me to bolster myself against his weight. All the while his cold fingers continue to squeeze. There's no need for that. I know this is exciting, but we mustn't disturb the neighbors. Why don't you go to sleep, Yinny? I think it's time to rest now. We'll have plenty of time to play in the morning. His breath tingles on my skin, erratic and heavy. It's the only warm thing about him. And then he just chokes us out. As my consciousness begins to fade, I can barely register the fingers bruising my throat. The pressure of his chest against mine, the hard floor against my back. There we go. Very good, Yinny. Isn't that better? Well, oh dear. What happens when we just fawn over him? I'm sorry, Ellis, forget what I said. I didn't mean it. Why would you say such hurtful things to me, Yinny? I don't know. I'm just not used to this. Used to what? What do I say? I just think you deserve someone who can appreciate you better than I can. You don't think you're worthy, is that it? Yeah. Oh, Yinny. Of course you're worthy. I wouldn't be here if you weren't. I wouldn't have chosen you. Did I just make this worse? Focus, Yinny, just get him to leave. Thank you, Ellis, for choosing me. That's really great. But hey, it's really late and I'm sure we're both tired. Why don't we talk more about this tomorrow? Yes, of course. Rest is very important. I wait for him to leave, but he remains standing in front of me. Close your eyes, Yinny. Is he planning to stay here all night? Ellis, you should go home and get some rest too. We can talk in the morning. Oh, I couldn't possibly leave you in this state. Yes, you can. Don't you worry about me. No, I must insist. Close your eyes. Has he always seemed this unhinged, or am I just seeing it now? Either way, the best thing to do is to keep him calm. Don't give him any reasons to do something brash. I get back into bed and close my eyes. Isn't that better? I'll be right here when you wake up. That's what I fear. His soft footsteps retreat towards the door and pause. For an excruciating few seconds, I can feel him staring at me. Then his footsteps leave the room. I'm not sure how long I wait, listening for any kind of sound for a sign. But I never hear him leave. That means he's still somewhere in this apartment. What if this is a test? What if he's waiting to see what I'll do? I don't even have my phone with me. This is a nightmare. Hours go by and the adrenaline starts to give way to exhaustion. It isn't safe to fall asleep, not with him still here, but I can't fight it any longer. I can't keep my eyes open. Oh, Jesus. God, I can't even say that that took a turn because Ellis was full of red flags and I slapped my face into every single one of them. Well, that is my playthrough of Dark Parts featuring Ellis's route. I hope you guys enjoyed that as much as I did. Ellis is terrifying. I can't even say that I'm surprised by his actions because, the entire time there's always been some hints of something underneath the surface. I know he's got, strange mannerisms when you first meet him and everything, but, strange mannerisms and, a different way of speaking doesn't necessarily denote someone as being someone creepy. But it's the following, the showing up, the remembering where you are. I'm pretty sure there's also a chance that he might be the one loitering outside. What happened just then? Him disappearing for weeks, him being really vague about his cat as well, which I'm very certain is not a cat. I'm very, very sure that next time in Act 3, we're probably going to wake up in Ellis's house regardless of what we choose. And then we're going to find out a massive world of horror. I definitely feel like Ellis's Yandere tendencies are very rooted in trauma, losing his mom, being detached from his dad, losing his dad. There's a lot of loss that informs his life, which seems like the catalyst for him being obsessive and wanting to preserve and protect and keep something close to him and keep something safe, in his words, rather than let it roam around outside and be free. Because to him, if he doesn't keep something close to him, he loses it, and that's all he's ever known. So I'm very interested to see how that obsession is going to play out and see what happens. I'm curious as to what his therapist said to him as well, because he said his therapy was enlightening. Benji, on the other hand, I think has the capacity to be really scary as well, because he is in a position that you trust. He is your, best friend, or, best friend on the rocks, but you still know him. You know him, and because he's in that position to get so close to you, there's a lot of stuff that he can do that's quite unexpected. And I think for Benji in particular, I haven't played his route yet, but for him, I feel like he can get very aggressive and very outwardly jealous and not as scheming as Ellis. Even though I definitely don't trust what he did with the drink, I am curious as to where he went though and why Ellis has showed up. I'm very certain that Ellis has done something to him, but I guess we'll find out in the next act. Thank you so much for watching this with me and for supporting me as always. If you guys would like to check this game out, I've linked in the description box below. There's a couple more dialogue options that you can check out with Ellis in particular too. So feel free to pop in, check it out and support the developer. And also if you would like to support me as well, my Patreon is in the description box below. Supporting monetarily is not mandatory, just very appreciated. But thank you so much again, and until next time, take care.